We did call Graeme Smith's retirement. In fact, pretty sure he only retired because we said so. Suleiman Modin says, why did G. Smith have a love-hate relationship with the SA public? Top record as a batsman, a captain. Hashtag legend.
Well, yeah, I think that's the thing. You know, they've related to him almost like they relate to Australia. They love to hate him. And I think it's because, first of all, he was pretty brash when he started out as captain. He was 22. We've been 22. You think you know everything. You want to know everything.
I still think I know everything.
Well, you haven't changed. And, you know, there have been a couple of incidents, and probably sort of foremost in my mind is the 2011 World Cup when he didn't come back home. And that still stings. It sounds silly, doesn't it? But it still stings.
Wasn't he dating a girl in another country at the time?
He was, but people wanted to see his sad face and hear his sad explanation before he went to propose to her. So,
did he actually propose to her then?
And her name is Morgan and she's his wife.
You haven't had that many amazing captains in your history. We're only 2 captains removed from Hansi Cronje, yeah? Graeme Smith should be a legend. The Bland Seeds says, will Smith be missed more as a captain or opener? Elgar Peterson looks a frail pair to me.
Yeah, that's a tricky question actually. He'll definitely be missed as an opener, even though he hasn't scored runs in this series. He's got an average just under 50, and his last sort of 2 months ago, he scored a double hundred in Pakistan.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, Elgar and Peterson, that doesn't fill you with confidence, does it?
No.
As a captain, absolutely. I mean, who's going to do all those like square jaw and bubblegum chewing things?
Who's going to do this? Uthama Villain says, share your favourite Biff moments. No, I actually like his career as a whole because he's just always been there and he's massive and in a Test cricket world that sort of had lots of changes, especially in the smaller nations, I suppose over and over again. He was just a big part of Test cricket and he took Test cricket seriously and he got South Africa to #1 in the world and he was big and ugly, so he was fun to hate. And you know, so I don't have like an individual moment. Obviously the hand, batting with a broken hand, there's been a few other things. But no, as a whole I like him and it's a big whole.
My favourite's probably the way he is at press conferences with new players. You almost get the feeling he's being their father. He helps them, he shows them how to sit, where to sit, what to say, nods at their answers. And I always think that's the kind of captain you want. And I think he's done the same thing now that he is a father. I've seen him with his kids quite a lot.
And he's nodding and telling them where to sit.
Well, they're not listening, but he's trying. I think he's really grown up as a man in front of our eyes, which is great.
Ashok says, do you think Bath would be a better choice for leading Proteas with De Villiers being senior batsman and a keeper?
If De Villiers is going to keep and bat at number 4 or 5, then yes, Faf is a better choice, but Faf needs to cement his place in the team first. So I think we've got a problem. I think De Villiers can't keep and captain and bat at 4 or 5. A choice has to be made.
I think Robin Peterson should be captain. Dina Karan says, how do you rate Smith amongst the modern greats? Clark, hashtag. Strauss, hashtag. Should be hashtag Clark. He put Clark here twice.
Obviously he's
don't think we didn't notice that. Ponting, Strauss, and that's it. He's just got Clark. Yeah, okay. Where would he be? Well, I mean, no one has captained more games than him. No one has won more captains this game than him. So that puts him pretty high. I think there's some sort of, I was researching today, that someone came up with this index where he was the 2nd best captain of all time behind Steve Waugh. Okay. I don't know, he's good. He's not, you know, he's not a genius of captain. He's a good leader, a really good leader. Yeah. And you know, he should be remembered as a South African legend. We're not going to rank people.
South Africa's best captain.
Yeah, definitely. We shouldn't be in this to rank people because clearly Stephen Fleming is the greatest captain in Test cricket history. He just had a dud team. Medon Lupus says, I heard someone say yesterday that Smith could play for Ireland. Seriously? Question mark. No. I mean,
Kevin Peterson can play for South Africa?
Yeah.
Seriously?
No. Anurag Kumar says, what are the chances of South Africa doing in Adelaide again?
Well, 77 for 4 then, 71 for 4 now. AB at the crease then, AB at the crease now.
Oh no.
No, you can't go any further than that.
Ryan Harris probably injured and may not bowl much anymore.
Mitchell Johnson, different Mitchell Johnsons. He didn't play in Adelaide anyway, so.
But it is a different Mitchell Johnson. They seem a bit more defeated this time around.
They do. I think they're pretty shattered.
I think it would be a better effort if they did it here than it was in Adelaide. But I mean, it's a chance. Rajiv Barr says, will the difference between Adelaide and Cape Town be James Patterson?
Well, he's fit now.
He's actually bowling. But if Ryan Harris is injured, then that may negate that out. But yeah, I mean, if Australia have 4 fit bowlers and Shane Watson, then they should win.
They should.
Faraz Beg says, why did Warner slow down after Rogers' wicket? Why wasn't Watto promoted to 3? They were bowling wide of off stump into footholes to Warner, and he wanted his other 100. And Watto didn't come in because they were trying to give Doolan a sense of feeling like he belonged.
And I was busy talking to Sean Pollock about Graham Smith, so I have no idea.
Look, I mean, it doesn't matter. Daryl Kerrigan says, will Ryan Harris call it quits after today? Just remember, if you call it, it will happen. We obviously did call Graham Smith's retirement, so we're going to be very careful with Ryan Harris, and I'm going to say he won't retire.
Yeah, I don't think he will. He'll have his surgery, and he'll come back big and strong.
The only reason he would retire is if the surgery doesn't help him.
I suppose.
Yeah, but other than that, I mean, he just hasn't played enough Test cricket. He's got to, you know, at his age, he's going to want to play every single Test he can until, you know, he's an inch shorter on one side. Patrick says, actually, MCC waiting list says, best lunchtime meal from this summer. Well, there's none that have been cooked for us, but the bratwursts here, German sausage lady bratwursts here, are amazing, and also the boerewors. Did I get that right? Good. I like that. The boerewors from the Methodist Church at PE.
Westering ladies Methodist Church. But can I just say, I'm going to be culturalist. I really like the dal and roti.
Anthony says, is it possible Mitch Johnson was abducted by aliens during the last 18 months and returned in this altered form? Yes. Dermot Stevens says, is Chris Rogers playing reverse sweeps the death of Test cricket? Yes! We'll see you tomorrow.